Hi, real estate enthusiasts. So, I am at our storage facility again, and I like just kind of giving like small little updates and little tidbits here and there. Just met with one of the contractors. We just have a lot of subcontractors for this particular property. We did not have like one contractor come in and handle everything. We called around, and we've basically been managing each subcontractor for each little piece of job completed. And so there's two different ways to go about that. I can break that down in another video if necessary. And so kind of what I'm doing today is I'm organizing our facility a little bit for, we have boots on the ground now to kind of help with monthly maintenance and to kind of get some stuff done every single month for our tenants. But as you can see behind me, they look a little bit different than they did before. So it had a lot of rust on it. It was white, it was all white, and it was just kind of grungy and dirty. Some of the sides were just getting really weathered and slightly kind of just mildewy. And the doors had a lot of rust. And so when you have a metal building, you want to paint it more for longevity than looks. Yes, it's aesthetic and your tenants are gonna love it, and you know, you want to make it pop from the street and catch your eye and kind of pull people in, but metal buildings need to be protected from the weather, and so you really want to get weather resistant good paint to go in and kind of seal up your metal to make sure that it doesn't just crumble and fall apart. So this particular property, there's a section on the other side that did have some water damage, and so that's kind of on like the longer list of repairs to do. We can afford to have a couple of units offline for a little while until it gets fixed. And so but it had some water, you know, some standing water, like it was exposed, it was rusted, and then water penetrated it. And so you have to actually go in and cut out and rip out that piece of metal. And so, and I will say, you know, when you're flipping houses and building apartment complex and doing things that are office buildings with sheetrock and wood and stuff like that, there's a lot of people who can come in and do that, but metal work is a little bit of a specialty niche. And so you really want to make sure that your, you know, your metal building is protected and taken care of, and really go in and create that that upkeep and that maintenance, and so you don't have to find metalwork people or welders to come in and fix it. So obviously, if you have a metal building, you need to know those people, but you don't want to keep them on a continual retainer. So so this is the color we went with. Paint is not complete, just met with the guy, and you want to do walkthroughs. So I know some of you, you know, invest in areas that you don't live, and you have other teams for stuff. That's great, and that's awesome. So, but pictures are always deceiving. So if you just kind of look in the back there, I mean, that looks good, like, you know, from a distance. So we're gonna go ahead and walk over to it, just to show you. If you actually came to the facility, or if you had boots on the ground to come. So as you get closer, you can see they have overspray on these corners. That needs to be repaired. As you come up, you can see that where they had tarp around, the wind blew paint up into the white. So could I have seen that? They could have easily taken a picture and, you know, taken a picture, and I could have said, wow, like that looks, you know, amazing, not knowing that, you know, 2 inches up there's a bunch of overspray, and as you can see right here where they took the tape and ripped the tarp off, it peeled the paint off. So stuff like that, you know, I mean, like I said, the paint is aesthetic, yes, but it's also a protectant. And so if your metal is exposed, you are eliminating the purpose of getting it painted in the first place. And so what we are doing, everyone runs their business differently, but I personally do not pay for work up front. If they're purchasing materials, or if they're completing work as they go, I pay them as they go, or I pay for materials. But I do not pay 50% up front. I do not pay for a job up front. I do not pay for work not completed. So I understand that some people might not necessarily have money for material, but again, I'm hesitant to work with a company that cannot afford a week of materials to get a job started. To me, that's a red flag. If This particular painting company did not necessarily have funds to go ahead and pay forward, but the pressure washer company kind of was the one managing the painters, and so he actually fronted that money. And so you need to make sure you're working with a company that is not financially strapped, because that's when you get in a situation, because if they do not have the funds to do it, they're either going to buy the cheaper things, or they're going to use your money to buy materials for other jobs, or they are going to not complete the work and just take the money because they don't have any money, and you just gave them money, and so now they can just go and leave and do something else. You know, lots of different reasons. I'm not saying that that's just the way it is, but in this industry you do need to be a little bit careful. Contractors come and go, you know, laborers come and go, so make sure it's a company that's been around for a while, or it's a company that you've done referrals for. You know, you verified their referrals, or it's a recommendation for someone, but even then you still want to put in good business practice. Do not ever pay for work not completed. And like I said, if they go to start a job and they can't afford some paint and rollers to get a job started, then that's a concern and a red flag, because as soon as they get money in their pocket, they obviously can't manage their money very well. And if you give someone who can't manage money very well money, you can pretty much say goodbye to it. So we always work with companies that we're more than happy to pay week by week. We understand that you know, people can't necessarily pay for a job and not get paid. So I like to do photo communication, you know, but when it comes to the big final check, you know, I like to make sure that I'm doing a walkthrough, either myself or a validated, reliable partner of mine, or boots on the ground company that isn't actually getting a perk or benefit from the work completed, and so can go in and scrutinize it and understand the validity of like what we're trying to accomplish. So you don't necessarily have to be at the facility to do it, but just make sure that you have people on your team that can also go down and verify and make sure that everything is how it should be. So pretty excited kind of what's going on with the property so far. We are putting up new numbers today, actually kind of this week. As you can see, none of our units have numbers on them anymore. The numbers didn't make sense, so we're actually going to take this opportunity to start the numbers over again, and have them actually be in numerical order and a little bit more simple. And so I'm hoping that our tenants appreciate that, but if not, this is a value add property, and a lot of our tenants will probably be turning over here in the next few months anyway. So our fresh new tenants are going to love the new numbers. They're going to love the new security system, the new color, the new everything. So you know, that's obviously the goal. So you don't always retain your original clientele, you know, because they liked how it was, and we want clients to come in and like how it is. And so new numbers are going up. That's kind of a big project. So I'm going to kind of do a couple example ones. Again, you don't want to be working in your business like that. You want to be working on your business. So I'm going to just put up a couple example units and get everything else organized. You know, handle the bank and the marketing, and obviously the you know, the contractors and stuff like that. So, but I want to make sure that they know what it needs to look like, how it needs to be, and you know, the picture of how I want it. So be very clear, very communicative, and very precise on the work you want completed and how you want it to be, and put that expectations up in the front. So anyways, hope you guys like it. Very excited, and I am going to get to work today. So again, keep following. I try to update every single time I come down here, plus little tidbits along the way, and anything and everything commercial real estate. So follow, go ahead and subscribe to me below, and watch the next video. And I kind of just break everything down commercial related, and comment below. I love to connect and answer any questions that you have.